Hey, Coach, so glad you found us on YouTube. Subscribe and like. See all my son's shoes there. That's the first thing. Second thing is go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Let me help you put banners on your walls in your basement, win state championships in less time for less than $1 a day. 14-day free trial. You will get my personal email address. You'll get one-on-one calls, office hours. Everything you would want is there and available. So go over and check it out, and let's head off to the podcast. All right. So today I'm going to talk about practice. I'm going to talk about our classroom sessions. I'm going to talk about our locker room. I'm going to talk about everything that we kind of do as a basketball program. So think about when you learn a new skill, and it can be any skill. So for the sake of argument, I'll make that skill riding a bike. So most of you, or maybe even learning how to swim or something like that, hopefully if you're learning how to swim, you have a lifeguard there. But let's do riding a bike because it just makes it a little bit easier. Is think about the time that you started to learn how to ride a bike, right? First of all, you had training wheels, but eventually those training wheels went away, and you had to really concentrate to keep the balance of that bike, right? And there would be times where, I remember, especially with my daughter, I remember more with my daughter than my son, kind of keeping that balance, holding that back thing, kind of letting go, giving a little shove. But the concentration that came along with riding that bike, right? And you'd fall off it sometimes, especially when those training wheels were gone, and you'd have to pick yourself back up and get back onto that bike. And there's a point, there's that point of riding, falling off, getting back on, riding, falling off, getting back on, riding, falling off, getting back on. But then there becomes a point where you don't think about it. Like when you're my age, I don't think about riding a bike anymore. I put my helmet on, I jump on my bike, and I ride it. It becomes second nature. You will wobble at times when you start. But the key is when we're learning new skills in practice, when we're learning new skills in the locker room, when we're learning new skills in the classroom, when we're learning new skills, we're going to wobble. It takes concentration. It takes in a large amount of concentration. And the thing is, when you fall off, you don't want to quit. You want to get back on. When you don't do well on a test, when you don't do well in a specific drill, when you don't shoot well, you don't want to quit. You want to get back on. You want to keep concentrating, just like when you were learning to ride that bike. And it just needs to become habit forming. Another example is we're doing, you're coming down, you miss a couple shots, yes, hopefully you're concentrating, but you gotta get back. You can't quit at that point. You can't give up. You got to concentrate. When we're doing some dribble attack or we're funneling toward the baseline, you definitely want to concentrate, but that the mistakes are okay. But how you recover from them and not giving up is the key. And in practice, the expectation is going to be concentration, right? We're going to be locked. We're going to be focused because we're going to be learning new things. And when we're learning new things, we want to definitely be able to concentrate. And we want to be in a zone where, okay, we might wobble a little bit. We might fall down. We might make a mistake. That's okay. But then you got to get back up, get back on that bike and keep pedaling. So I think that's an important skill for not only life and learning in the classroom, but also in practice time and in games that, it is similar to riding a bike. Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like, and go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.